Market update on the 6th. So, huge rally. The last video I think I did was we were around 385, 386. I mentioned the 20-day DMA. We blasted right through that, and we came basically right below the 50-day moving average. So, where are we at in this move? So, I think now it's pretty clear that this is ABC. We know that this is not an impulsive move. So that means this would be the final move right here. The only way it could go higher after this move is if, so we have A, let's see, A, B, and we're on the C wave right here. The only way it can go higher from here is after this is complete, it'd have to come down here first, and then it could potentially go like that. So that's the only way. So basically we're only focused on this move right here because this is going to be the short-term top whenever this tops. So I'm going to get rid of all these, and if we zoom in here on the lower time frames, I have it labeled I think it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first wave, second wave, and then currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We hit the third wave today, and let's see where we landed at as far as fibs go. We basically hit the 3.61 fib. So, and you can see clearly 5 waves on this third wave. The length of this first wave is 378.94, so 379 to 384 is about 5 points. Third wave is about 7 points. This so far is about 4 points. So I would say it's pretty much done. As far as pullbacks go, I already have it labeled right here. I would look for a pullback to the 0.23 fib or the 0.38 fib. I'm thinking that it's probably only going to be to 386.81. The reason being, if we come all the way back here to the 0.38 fib, we're going to be below this again. I'm sorry, below. This is the very top. We'd be coming back into this resistance area, and so I think that either we're going to hit right here and have a barely break into this, or hit the top of it. So 387.36, shallow fourth wave is what I see is most likely. And we can also draw parallel line here. So we need to get outside of this parallel line. So I think we just started the A wave. So on Monday, I would expect a little bit of a drop. I think we're going to get most likely A, B, C, probably somewhere down around in here. 386.88 to 387. I don't think it's going to come all the way down here, but we'll see. And then we should get one more move higher. Let's say we only go to the 0.23 fib. We're looking at 392 to 393. So those would be my targets. However, that is right in the middle, not in the supply zone. We know that the supply zone starts here at 396. We have 390 here. So maybe it's a short fifth wave and it doesn't break above 390.50. Or if it does break above 390.50, we're going to go all the way to this supply zone at 396. Another thing to look at is if this is so if this is the A wave right here, I think right here actually, let's see, ABC, yeah. Then the 1.61 fib is sitting here at 390.34. That is like basically right at the end of the supply zone. So that's actually probably the best target, and that is right around, it's a little bit above the 50-day moving average. But to make a long story short, we're looking for a fourth wave on Monday and then a fifth wave higher. And that should complete the ABC move. And then the question is, are we looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or are we looking at A, B, C wave down here? That's possible. Or are we looking at this? And it goes all the way to like in the 400s. Three possibilities. I would say the most likely, I think the most likely actually is ABC now. But if we go all the way up here to like 394, maybe all the way up here to the supply zone, third wave is still in play, but we will see how it plays out. I just thought it was gonna fall a lot quicker than this, but it's not. So Tesla with a big day after breaking, come down to the lows. I talked about I got rid of my hedges down here because I knew this was the end of the third wave, and we popped, so that was nice. I'm looking at this probably somewhat similar to SPY. It looks like it's most likely this could be the B wave right here, and we're starting the 5-wave move higher. That's actually probably pretty likely because we have this move to 112, and the 1.61 fib is sitting here at 119.74. And so if we made a B wave, it would probably take a little bit longer. I'm expecting SPY to top in the next couple of days. So it's probably more likely that we're looking at something like that. So ABC, the full move is ABC, but it could also do, and we're starting the B wave. In that case, we'd go higher than that. So I don't think that's as likely because I think it's more likely this is a short B wave because this C wave is a little bit smaller than I would expect. So for that reason, I think we are already in the 5-wave move higher. If we're looking at fibs, we're looking at a pullback to a little bit more if this happens, 112.27 to 111.77. Same with SPY, fourth wave pullback, and then we would expect this to go all the way up to about 117 pullback, and then to 119 to 121. So that's what I'm expecting with Tesla. I kept my hedges off going into the close. I think there's a little bit more upside on this. And then once we get up in this area, I'll start putting my hedges back on. So when we do make the final move down, then I will be positioned to not lose that much money and possibly make some money. Let's see, next, let's look at Apple. And that's pretty much what I do in my long-term portfolio. I just hedge. So I have a position, I'll probably try to make it delta neutral. If I'm bullish, I make it a delta positive. If I'm bearish, I'll try to make it delta negative. Pretty much that's what I do in my long-term portfolio. I trade in my trading account. But so Apple ended up 3.68% today. Earlier, it wasn't up very much at all. I think that Apple is a good target still is going to be either in this supply zone or we're going to see a move to, let's go to the daily. We're probably going to at least hit this 20-day moving average. Haven't hit it in a while, but it did cross below the 50-day. So I would look for something up in this range right here, 137 to 133. We're at 129 right now. And I think that would be the X wave, or this will end up being a pullback and we get one more move higher for the X wave. But based on where we're at in SPY, I think there's a chance we just come up here to 135 to 137 and then drop. And that would be very bearish because the 20 would still be below the 50. And then we make our final descent down to probably like 108, maybe 100, possibly. Let's go to QQQ. So QQQ with a nice bounce today. And just like SPY, move all these out of the way. Just like SPY, we got A, B, C wave. We're looking for maybe a little bit more upside on Monday. Let's zoom in and look at the waves again. And lower time frames. A little bit different than SPY because it came back past the start. So I don't think that that's a first wave, but I think that it's a similar setup. We're going to see one more move higher. I would look for I said 272. I think that's probably going to be a good target. 273, maybe 274. If we look on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see we got this right here, 271 all the way up to 274. So that's your target right there. Come in this area right here, and then sell off to new lows. So we're almost there. I mean, could have looked at any of these charts like a week ago and been like, all right, these have to bounce a little bit. So SPY is most likely going to go higher. But it's not always, it doesn't always work out like that. So hindsight, it's not really going to help out at all. So let's look at the dollar. The dollar was getting stronger, but then today, what a sell-off in the dollar. That's pretty crazy. Huge sell-off. Let's look at the waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This could still be a first wave. It looks more corrective, but I think that potentially a 5-wave move here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a second wave, pulls back all the way to the 0.78 fib exactly. So based on that, I think that even if we start up a little bit higher on Monday, I think SPY is far enough up into the move that it can still back off and then just go up here one more time to 390 to 392 before topping out. And I think that the dollar, based on this chart, should be ready to go to the next move. And based on where it's at, retracement wise, we're looking at the 1.61 fib, potentially all the way to the 2.61 fib. So we're very, very close. According to this chart, we are pretty close to going to selling off pretty hard in the overall market. So I'm looking for 107.01 to 109.25. And we can zoom back out here again and look at our supply zones. And there is a supply zone right here, 107.05 to 107.77. So that would be right in the area that we'd look for if this is a third wave move higher. And we'll have to watch it and make sure it's not an ABC pattern. If it's ABC pattern, because it does look like that as well, then we're looking at probably just 106 on the upside. 106 would take us to this area right here, I guess, 106.11 to 106.90. So we'll see what the dollar does on Monday. If we get this move on SPY out of the way early on Monday, then SPY is free to go to 107 to 109, and maybe we're starting to move up to 120 that I've been talking about for a year now. Yields, yields really dropped today. So they had to drop yields, drop the dollar for it to for the market to go up. Yields is the same thing as the dollar, but it looks a lot more ABC-ish than the dollar. So maybe the dollar is ABC pattern too. We'll see. But this looks like ABC pullback, and this pullback looks ABC-ish as well. I think that 340, 355. I think we could see a move up here to 4% sometime in the next couple of weeks, and then we'll have to go from there and just see how it plays out. I've said in the past this is a 5-wave move, so if that's the case, then this could still be A, B, and get a C wave down here. So that would mean there's more upside in the overall market. So we'll see how it plays out. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you catch that move? I didn't play it very well today. I was kind of disappointed with how I played it, but I still made some money, but it was mostly on Tesla. I caught the drop because I had hedges. I caught it on that. And I made a little bit of money on some puts on a pullback, and I made some money on some Tesla calls, but that was pretty much it. I didn't even try to play SPY calls. I had some sold puts. But again, I'm like doing a lot of hedging on my long-term portfolio, so I'm setting up for the next move lower, and we'll see. I might sell some puts next week if we get a move down to 385, 386 early, and then wait for a move up here to 390, 392 before I reload again. So that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, more updates every single day after the market, a lot of times during the market, and let me know what you think about the market right now. Have a good weekend.